a certain way and you do it your way and then mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your fuck up, not mine.
I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot.
Floyd Mayweather broke down the upcoming fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, saying that Davis is making his own decisions and taking a major risk with his career. Mayweather explained that while he has given Tank advice before, it's ultimately up to him to listen or not. He added that the matchup is great for boxing, the money involved is huge, and he'll definitely be watching the event closely, too.
Within my company, within my team, do it my way. Because if you mess up, I don't mind being a janitor to clean up the mess because I told you to do it a certain way. But if I tell you to do it a certain way and you do it your way and then mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your fuck up, not mine.
Boxing world is in an uproar over the highly anticipated clash between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Jake Paul. Fans and analysts are deeply divided. Some view it as a marketing stunt designed for views, while others believe it's a smart business move that could expand Tank's audience beyond traditional boxing fans. As debates intensify, insiders have begun sharing their opinions, some defending Tank's freedom to choose his opponents, while others criticize what they see as a dangerous direction for the sport.
And number 3, to retire.
I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face, yeah, they're gonna have a field day. The backlash I get, I understand. Would you say number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur, that he ain't gonna do him no favors, that he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean? That's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups, you know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it, but it is kind of crazy.
Trainer Greg Hackett expressed frustration over the backlash aimed at Gervonta Davis, saying people today are too quick to judge fighters without understanding their personal circumstances. He argued that if Davis chooses to face Jake Paul, that choice deserves respect. Hackett emphasized that fans outside the ring can't truly grasp what motivates a fighter or the challenges they face. He believes critics should focus on appreciating the discipline and commitment it takes to stay elite rather than dictating matchups. His comments reflect the growing frustration among trainers and fighters who feel that social media has turned boxing commentary into constant noise.
Like, he done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate, all right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing. You're talking about marketing. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You like, why do I have to deal with all of this shit? People trying to keep money coming in, so they trying to come up with bright ideas. At the same time, you got a lot of people trying to get shit from you.
Major debate has also surrounded sports analyst Max Kellerman, whose recent remarks about Gervonta Davis have stirred backlash. Many accuse Kellerman of being overly biased and dismissive of Tank's accomplishments. He suggested that Davis has never been a true champion in his division, downplaying his knockout power and success. These claims angered other analysts who argue that Kellerman's take ignores Davis's proven record and elite talent. Critics say this reflects a larger problem in boxing media, where younger stars are often undervalued, and narratives are shaped more by bias than reality.
Because Max Kellerman is full of nonsense. Max Kellerman claims that Gervonta Davis was never a champion, that we've never been a period of time when we looked at Gervonta Davis and said Gervonta Davis is the man in that weight class. bunch of other ridiculousness pouring out of the pie hole of Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is one of the most biased, bought and paid for journalists that there is in the sport of boxing. And to have him back talking again on and giving his opinion again about the sport of boxing, I promise you is not a good thing. But let's analyze what he had to say about Gervonta, that Gervonta was not ever a champion. That is ridiculous because Gervonta Davis was a champion for the IBF at 130. He was a WBA super champion at 130. He is currently the reigning WBA champion at 135. And there is no other champion in the division for the WBA at the moment. He is the only WBA champion that there is at 135. He had a portion of a secondary. The title at the time he won it at 140 was a secondary title. So if you do not want to count that, I don't know why you wouldn't, seeing as everybody else counts that belt. But okay, fine. He's a 2-division world champion. That is more than zero, Max Kellerman. Now, looking at the idea that Gervonta Davis has never been the man in that division is absolutely ridiculous because Gervonta Davis has really been the man in that division the entire time that he's there.
Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi didn't hold back when discussing the Davis versus Jake Paul fight. He criticized the matchup, claiming it damages boxing's credibility. According to Malignaggi, knockouts only matter when they occur between evenly matched fighters, not in entertainment-driven spectacles. Speaking with analyst Chris Algieri, he argued that casual fans might enjoy such fights, but real boxing followers can see through the illusion. He warned that allowing social media personalities to share the spotlight with elite athletes blurs the line between true competition and staged entertainment, highlighting an ongoing struggle between tradition and showmanship in modern boxing.
Knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture
knockouts. You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can, yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
champion.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it, you know, the way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of Witherspoon.
That we're afraid of
with the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when you gonna fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
Contrast, commentator Showbiz the Adult offered a more optimistic view after attending the Davis versus Paul press conference. Initially skeptical due to Jake's size advantage, Showbiz changed his opinion after observing Tank's calm confidence and focus. He said Davis carried himself like a seasoned professional who fully understood the stakes. That composure convinced him that Tank could adapt and overcome the physical differences. Showbiz believes fans might be surprised. Jake's power won't automatically guarantee victory, and Davis's technical skill and ring intelligence could very well turn the fight in his favor.
I'll beat the hell out this kid. Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap. I know it's Tank wasn't saying much, fumbling over his words, seems bashful. But I'm looking, right? And I'm just like, bro, he doesn't feel that Jake Paul is an issue. Even though he said it, he doesn't feel like he has to whoop his ass. He doesn't feel threatened. That's the word. He doesn't feel threatened, but he does feel out of his element. I'm gonna be honest, man. It sounds like, I know everybody's looking at this press conference and it's like, number one, I know what y'all saying. It's a clown show. It's not real. Tank was paid off. It's fake. Cause Tank, when he was talking about Jake and Jamie, even I was like, what is he talking about?
He left.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him.
So that I can understand if that's your concern. I am being extremely truthful with how I feel about this and how I'm reacting to this. My oldest son was like, I see the same thing, Dad, but you're going to get a weird response to your take.